Hey guys, JV here with some interesting Battlefront 2 news. After a week full of controversy, which included exposing extremely high hero costs, ridiculous arcade credit limits, and lengthy loot crate progression, EA decided to make a change. The night before launch, they temporarily disabled microtransactions. Here's the news update post on their site. Thank you to everyone in our community for being the passionate fans that you are. Our goal has always been to create the best game possible for all of you, devoted Star Wars fans and game players alike. We've also had an ongoing commitment to constantly listen, tune, and evolve the experience as it grows. You've seen this with both the major adjustments and polish we have made over the past several weeks. But as we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear that many of you feel there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages, and we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intention, sorry we didn't get this right. We hear you loud and clear, so we're turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this. We have created a game that is built on your input, and it will continue to evolve and grow. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is 3 times the size of the previous game, bringing to life a brand new Star Wars story, space battles, epic new multiplayer experiences across all 3 Star Wars eras, with more free content to come. We want you to enjoy it, so please keep your thoughts coming and we will keep you updated on our progress. So, very important takeaway here in case you missed it. The microtransactions are offline now, but they will become available at a later date. They are going to come back. The battle is won, but the war is not over yet. We as a community made our voices heard and impacted the game right now, but it's up to us to hold EA to their word long term. It's very easy to celebrate this as a grand victory, and that's what it's going to look like, you know, in article titles and video titles and all that, but a lot of nothing could happen before they inevitably turn the microtransactions right back on. User Show Me Your Husky makes a great point on the Star Wars Battlefront subreddit. He says, "This is pretty clear what they're doing to anyone who works in the industry. They want to maximize their initial sales numbers to show to investors. Once the trade-off is worth it, probably 1 to 2 months in, they will enable the gamble boxes again because 1, everyone who was on the fence will have bought the game by now. 2, you can't refund the game at this point. 3, the news will have died down, and if new articles do come out, it won't be as relevant. And 4, they will already have good numbers to show investors. EA is going to royally F over the average gamer who doesn't have a clue how the industry works on this. This is about as deceptive as it gets." While there's no guarantee this will happen, it's 100% a possibility that we need to prepare ourselves for. Really, Show Me Your Husky hit the nail on the head with this. There will be a gut reaction to go out and buy the game because of this news, especially for those who were holding back just because of microtransactions. But it's only temporary, and there's zero guarantee that a similar system won't be implemented a few months down the line. Imagine spending hours upon hours unlocking things in a game where there weren't microtransactions, only to have someone come in at a later point and spend their way to your level because they added them in later. That would suck so much. And regardless of what happens later on, you won't be able to refund the game at that point. It will already be too long, you will have played it for a few months, and at that point you just can't do that. In January or February, most people will have forgotten about this fiasco, giving them the opportunity to slip microtransactions right back into the game. Again, I'm not taking Mr. I'm a producer at a AAA studio by his word, but these are really fantastic and realistic points that we need to consider. Shortly after the announcement, EA had a phone interview explaining the decision with US Gamer. They described it as a temporary measure until EA can achieve what the company says is the right balance between those who want to progress through gameplay and those who want what they call an accelerated experience. Make no mistake, they're essentially saying microtransactions will return in the same form all over again. That's what the accelerated experience is, and that's the primary reason we spoke so loudly in the first place. So to see this is not encouraging in the slightest. When microtransactions do come back, and they will, they've promised that they will, and I think we should expect that they will, we want a completely different system in place here. We want pure cosmetics. We don't want anything that's going to give a competitive, unfair advantage to those who don't have a ton of money just lying around to spend on this game. Overall, if we want to prevent these sorts of predatory gambling systems in our games, we can't stop pushing now. The war is not over. EA and DICE must be held accountable for their words. If it happens that microtransactions return and are not purely cosmetic and still offer unfair advantages for an accelerated experience, we need to push even harder than we did this time. And again, that'll be a few months down the line. It'll be easy to forget, and we need to make sure that we keep this in our minds. While Battlefront 2 could have been a fantastic game, we need to make this an example for the industry as a whole. It's the only way to work towards a future where competitive advantage is not directly tied to one's ability to spend money, especially with a AAA $60 product like Battlefront 2. It just can't happen. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. In the comment section below, tell me if you think EA and DICE will actually change their microtransactions, or if they'll return in the same kind of form down the line in the ways that we've described in this video. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more commentaries like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.